Okay, so we are live here, DoubleBookedCo, ready for our reading sprints to start off our October reading of In a Dark, Dark Wood by Ruth Ware. Now, if you're joining us for these reading sprints and you are not part of our book club or you don't want to read this tonight, you do not have to. You may read or do whatever you would like to do. I know sometimes people do laundry or dishes or whatever suits your fancy. I know Laura and I will be starting the book, but in the comments, let us know if you're joining us tonight, what you will be doing during the sprints. Typically, we start the sprints letting you know what next month's books are, but both Laura and I left our books not in the place that we are sitting right now. So if you're interested in November's books, you can certainly listen to the beginning of our previous video, which is our new product launch video for the 9th of October. But the selections that we have are The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls, In the Garden of Beasts by Eric Larson, and then Wild by Cheryl Strayed. All are nonfiction for Nonfiction November. So if you're interested in any of those, we'll have polls on that video that I just mentioned, as well as Spenelli Speaks community posts and Book Bubblers community posts. And those will be up tomorrow, and you'll have until the 22nd to vote on those. So hello, everyone, again. We see we have Cool Gamers here, Andy's here, Krista's here, eating a big old chicken salad and working on. I love salads so much. You're hosting sprints later. Yay! So once you're done eating, then good for you. I might have to join those sprints later. I don't know what my night looks like. We're going to be having some Hindu chicken tonight. I don't know why it's called Hindu chicken because it's like soy sauce and sugar, basically. I mean, I would think it'd be more like a buttered chicken, you know?
Right.
It's called Hindu, but it's just soy sauce and like butter and brown sugar, but it's so good. And we put it in the crock pot today, so it'll be super tender falling off the bone. So real excited about that. It looks like Kim is here. Gonna be doing the Heart of Invisible Furies. Okay,
that sounds like. What do you think of that one? I think I might get rid of that one. Because I haven't read it so far, and it's such a big chunker. But I've heard such good things, so I'm really conflicted about what to do with that one.
Oh, sure. You know. Well, maybe Kim will give you a little bit of a.
Yeah, please do.
Thank you, Krista. Yeah, I had to get rid of it. Just wasn't having it anymore. So thank you. Oh, so any big plans for the week, Laura? Anything?
No, just work for massage and appointments for doctors for my mom and I, and work for DoubleBookedCo, and working on decluttering my house. So yeah, I'd like to get back to the gym too. It's been a month and I really miss the movement. So, but we'll see, because I like to do swimming in the morning and classes at 8:30, which is not that early, but I am not a morning person, and to get out of the house by like 10 after 8 is really hard for me sometimes. So yeah. Anyways, so yeah, it's work, doctors, and then decluttering. How about you? What's going on this week for you?
Doctor's appointments. Yep, I have some doctor's appointments, and then lots of DoubleBookedCo crafts. Got to keep moving on those. I did some today, did some yesterday. I'm going to be doing some every single day until they're done, because otherwise there won't be any. But yeah, I have been like getting into this really weird like mood of wanting to like clean things out, like clean cupboards out and stuff, and just like throw stuff away, which is like typically you do like a spring cleaning. You're like, oh, I'm going to spring clean everything. Well, I get like that in the winter, like before it's winter time. Like for some reason, I just want to like clean out an entire cupboard. like throw things away. So I keep thinking about doing that to my downstairs front closet and my vanity. And I keep pushing it off, but like the more and more I keep looking at it, I'm like, I gotta do this because you know how you like open up a medicine cabinet and you're like, I don't even touch half of this crap. Like, why is this here?
Yeah.
So I'm really like getting into the like mood to go through all of my drawers and all of my medicine cabinets and just get rid of stuff that doesn't belong. So that might happen this week as well.
Yeah, I hope you do it. I recently did my medicine cabinet as well above the sink, like one of those built in the wall ones for people that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I threw out like 50 some things from there and I rearranged and it's still comfortably full. Like it just looks comfortably full. And I'm like, how in the hell did I have all this other junk in there? Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God. Yeah. It feels really good though. Every time I open it, I'm like, oh, things have
Mm-hmm.
a home. It's nice, you know?
Yeah. Well, Kim says that so far so good, and
Okay.
she's at 13%.
Okay.
Krista, it is a constant
It
struggle, and I
is.
feel I will declutter my entire like DoubleBookedCo workstation area, and like a day later, it'll be as if I never did anything to it. Like, why is there just
I
stuff
know.
everywhere? And like, I'll get
Yep.
more room to like put stuff in different places, and it'll still look like I have too much stuff. Like, I just don't understand. I just don't get it. It's annoying.
Yep. That's my desk too.
Yeah, crazy. Well, you know, I know we usually call these our chatting sprints, but I'm kind of really excited to get into this book. So I think we should start our sprints.
Sure.
And seeing that it's looks like it's 41, let's go ahead with our 20-minute sprints. And I know we're a minute in already, but let's just go right to the whole hour and come
Sure.
back and let everyone know how we did.
Sounds good.
Good. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we will meet back here at the whole hour. I'll put a little banner up for us. And good luck. And I don't have any ASMR to share with us today because I turned my laptop off. So you'll just hear us in silence. I know we usually mute ourselves. So I'm sorry that it's like literally going to be silent. So good luck with your reading.
Okay.
Put on some music
Yeah,
if
you
you'd
too.
like. Okay. So that is our 20-minute mark. How do I do this every time? I forget a bookmark every time.
I know. How far did you get?
I need to put in here. I didn't get very far. I got really cold. Try to figure out, when you have a fan and you have to like keep pulling it until you're like, I think this is the next one, and then you like pull it again, and you're like, nope, that just made it
off.
Fastest one.
Yeah.
And then you pull it again. You like figure out how many times it takes to pull it. And then I went and got a sweater and stuff because I was chilly. It was like coming in the back of my neck, all the fan wind. So I finally got it off. So, but I was cold. But I'm on page 11. Super slow reader, as you know. So that's in chapter 2. So it's like a couple pages away from chapter 3.
Yeah.
So basically, I just got to the part where this flow person sends the email with the read receipt, which I hate read receipts. When people send me read receipts, I decline them because I think it's rude. You know that that I got your email if I emailed you back. Like, you don't need to be sending me a read receipt. And I've only sent read receipts when it has been like when I had people under me and they have had issues seeing my emails. That's when I would do read receipts. When it's an issue already, like, okay, well, if you're gonna say you won't get my emails, I'm gonna send you read receipts. There was one client I had who did read receipts on anything she ever sent. So it was so annoying because you'd reply to her and then she'd reply to you and you'd get another read receipt and you're like, Renee, please turn off your read receipt thing. It's so annoying. How far did you get?
Well, I had to text my client for tomorrow for a little bit, so I just saw she reply when I was reading, and I got to 34. So we'll see.
Fast reader. I don't know if your book is the same, but the text in my book is really tiny.
Yeah, it is small.
I think page 4 or 2 is when it's too tiny. Yeah. How do you feel about the characters so far?
I like them. I'm trying to get the sense of everybody. I mean, I automatically want to just generalize everyone right away just based on how they're presenting, like Tom and everybody and Nina, but I try not to do that and just let them become themselves. But there's so many things that are right away setting it up to seem creepy and eerie and things that characters are saying, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I don't like that, This really isn't spoiling anything, but she's at the hen do, and it's at Flo's aunt's country house in the middle of nowhere, and there's no
30 pages.
And
wow.
There's no curtains like in the main room, and it's just floor to ceiling windows facing the woods. I couldn't handle that. There's no way.
Nope.
Absolutely not.
I have to close the curtains so we have curtains obviously in our area, and I have to close the curtains at the end of the night when I put the dogs away, and it goes out to our backyard, and every time I do it, I'm like expecting someone to be standing there, like in my backyard. I hate it.
Yeah, I've been terrified of that my whole life, of having someone suddenly be in the window, and it only happened once when I was at a friend's house for dinner party, and our other friend lived like 2 blocks on the same street, but 2 blocks away, so it was just walk over. I was the only one in the dining room facing the window. I was sitting at the table, and all of a sudden I felt someone look at me and look up, and my friend Brian is like right there in the window. You can just see his head, and I really screamed. So yeah, I am really, really afraid of having someone's face there. Plus, at my house now, this is my grandmother's house, so I grew up coming here all the time. But the front of my house where I'm all the time is pretty much floor to ceiling windows, and anyone could just walk right up and just stare and look right in. Like, nope, super uncomfortable. I'm always convinced there's going to be someone there. So yeah, I would have a hard time staying at this house.
Yeah.
Just from the curtain situation alone.
Well, I look forward to reading that section. Let's see what everyone else is doing. Looks like Amy is here. Welcome, Amy.
Hi,
Looks
Amy.
like some lesson plans. Nice.
Glamorous.
I did want to mention, and I feel so bad about it, but I know, Amy, you were able to go. And Krista, if you're still here, so the Bookish besties, Krista, Amanda, Lindsay, and Sarah met up in Madison, Wisconsin, last week or no, the weekend before. And I so badly wanted to go and visit you all and say hello, but just with everything, it's just hard to kind of plan that kind of stuff right now. But I saw all the pictures and everything. It would have been so nice to have been able to meet you, Krista and Amy, and other ladies as well. So I really hope that happens again sometime in the future, because that would have been really fun. So I'm glad you guys all had a nice time. Like Andy's listening on the audio.
Okay.
Excellent. She's laughing out loud. She made it to page 29.
Nice.
Good. And Mary's here. Hi, Mary.
Hi, Mary. We missed you too.
Oh. You are here. Totally love you to get to meet. Yeah. I know. We really should. It'd be so much fun. I know. I was like, oh, how can I? Madison's it's a little bit too far for me in my current state, as far as like having to figure out the day and plan accordingly. It would have just been too far to try to figure all that out. It would have been a ginormous day trip. So, yeah. But we definitely can, Amy. We should probably do that.
Yeah, you guys are so close.
We are very close, like, without saying so. Amy, you and I are extremely close. Yeah, I bet it was fun. A lot of fun. And Andy, I know you are also a Wisconsinite, so yeah. It's just sometimes it's not in the cards, and yeah. It would be fun. I know you guys did like was it like a retreat thing, like over Zoom and stuff. And I know Kate Howe's done it too with a bunch of booktube friends and everything, but Zoom calls are always something that I think about, but it's always fun to try to do something. Looks like Kim got to 16%.
Excellent.
That book, so very good job, Kim. Yeah.
That's good for a big chunker.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, anything else that you're reading, Laura, past our October read?
Not a ton. I am still doing that year-long, what's it called? Out of the Coffin, read along of the Suki Stackhouse series by Shirley Harris. That's supposed to be by Amy and Ange in Scotland and England. So I try to save that book for the end of the month, but I already read it in a day on Thursday at the hospital with my mom. So it was like, oh, well, shoot. Nothing to look forward to then till the end of November, if I can maintain myself for that long. But I just finished in 2 nights an older Book of the Month Club book. I've been trying to go through everything, and do I really want to keep it? I mean, I joined in 2016 and I still have tons of stuff I haven't read. So I just finished reading The Impossible Fortress by Jason, I want to say it's Rekulak or something like that. Set in the 1980s, and it's about this friend group of boys who are like into computers, and they're still like $4,000 for a computer, and they're huge and massive and whatever, they're clunky. So they try to like find a way to get a hold of the Vanna White Playboy, and their big thing was to try and befriend the daughter of a man who owns this little store in their downtown. And somehow, like, they would figure out the alarm code and they could break in and it would be fine. But the main kid ends up having like a friendship with and sort of falling for this daughter and doesn't want to do that anymore. And it seems really childish and stupid. So the two of them are working on a computer game together, and it's really kind of sweet and nerdy, and yeah, So that was really good. It's not for everybody, and there's a lot of computer stuff in there, which I don't quite frankly get that much, but it did feel very like the 80s in a lot of ways, which was sort of nice and nostalgic. And yeah, I was sort of surprised. I didn't think I would like it, but I just finished that. Otherwise, it's just sort of whatever sounds good at the moment, and trying to finish the tons of books that I have already started this year that I have not really made progress in. So yeah, that's pretty much it. No audiobook on the go, just trying to read physical stuff. How about you?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't really call it a slump, but I've lost my momentum that I had last month. But I read here and there, still on my Hoopla, like ebooks and stuff. I finished a few of the books in the series that I kind of started. I found out that Penny Reed wrote a few more of her Beard books, so I started to listen to a few of those, but nothing like noteworthy, nothing that I was like, yeah, this is so good. But yeah, I've been trying to get into books. I've rated a lot of books 1 stars, like just not into them. Like I've DNF'd a bunch of books, so I'm just kind of like teetering on like, oh, I haven't really found anything good, and trying to find something good and something that I actually want to read. And so I've just been kind of wavering back and forth. And I really haven't even been watching anything either, because I don't think any of my shows are on anymore. Like I finished Only Murders in the Building, so that's done. The baking show started again though, so I probably have an episode of that I can watch, but I have to like, it's only 1 episode a week unless you wait until the end and then binge it, but I just can't wait that long. But yeah, I just been like working. But it's basically just been working and taking care of the babies. It looks like Andy's been reading some of her Book of the Month books as well. The Mayor of Casterbridge, Dark Night Work. Also rereading The 13th Tale.
Oh, I've never read that one.
I think I have that book somewhere. I feel like my mom lent that to me, but I haven't read it, and I don't know where it is.
I think it's on that left shelf there at your house.
I think it is too. But I know I've had it. I know I had it because it was on my cart, but now my cart is not that stuff, so I wonder where that ended up. I'm sure it was a hardcover.
Andy, how's The Mayor of Casterbridge going along? I finally found a copy so I can start reading myself, but I haven't actually started it yet. So what do you think? I like Hardy in general, but I have not read that one yet. It's not on your list for this year, is it? The 13th Tale? It's not one of your 22?
No, I don't think I have it. I think I had it, and I must have given it back or something, because I don't see it, which is weird. That is very weird. Anywho, yeah. She is doing a group read.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Oh, a reread. You know, how do you like doing reading things on Goodreads? Because I feel like that is super hard to follow. I'm also not a fan of Discord either, because that is super hard to follow. And I'm not saying that the Voxer is that easy to follow, because a lot of times you have to like keep scrolling up to like reload stuff you missed. But like I just noticed when I was on Goodreads, I was like, I don't understand how this works. Like, how are you? Yeah, that was weird, because I was on it like years ago for a read along of a certain book, and I was like, I don't even know how I'm supposed to follow this. Discord I figure out pretty easily, but I just don't like the format. But yeah. Oh, sure. Okay, yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah, Voxer does seem a little bit better. Although I realized I was part. So here's the thing I don't necessarily like about Voxer is sometimes what'll happen is someone who started a group in Voxer. So like let's say for instance that our DoubleBookedCo Voxer group was just a one book thing. Like we did one book and then say like months from now, I just decide that I want to start another book, but I'm going to use this same exact group and add a bunch of other people and then just start talking about a different book. Then all of the people that were in it previously who had agreed to that previous book are getting all of these new messages for this other random thing. So this just happened to me. I went into it and there were like 167 messages.
Mm-hmm.
A part of this group that I don't even know what book that they're reading. I don't even know, like, and this is from something from like a year ago. And I was like, for a second there, I was like trying to scroll through to like figure out, and I was like, what am I doing? No. So I just left the chat because I'm just like, I don't even know what they're talking about. And I would have loved to like figure it out, but 167 messages is way too gone for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I wish people would just start new group because there may be a chance that not everybody from that group is interested. So it's like, yeah. And it's no wrongdoing by any means. I mean, you're just getting people together, but like I turned off my notifications because when it started, it was like, boom, it kept like my phone kept buzzing and buzzing and buzzing. So I turned off all my notifications, which I thought I was turning off notifications for just that chat. But when I came in today, I realized that I must have turned them off for all of my chats because there's chats in the DoubleBookedCo thing that I didn't even get alerted about. So now I got to be more diligent about going in there and checking when I have messages. Turn my notifications off because I went in and this one had 167 messages before I finally was like, I'm leaving. So
the one I like the best for chatting is the library thing. I found that really easy and it made more sense to me. I think it helped too that it's done like for me on a desktop or it would be on a laptop or something. It's not on my phone, so it's a little thing and you have to scroll so much to go up and down. Like it was easier to just scroll a little bit because you get so much more chat on the screen. It was just easy to be like, oh yeah, that's for this thing and this thing. I really, really liked that a lot. But I've had a hard time with Goodreads and I just can't figure out Discord. I've tried a few times. And I'm like, I don't want to investigate my mental energy into figuring this out. I know I could, I just really don't want to. And Voxer's pretty straightforward and pretty easy. So I just don't like Goodreads. It's so clunky. And because there's only so many messages on the screen, you have to back up pages sometimes. Even if you change it to like 40 messages or whatever it is, it's still too much. It's just too much. So I'm only in groups on Goodreads just to like see what they're reading. And then I don't join anything. I just check it out. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. Well, shall we get back to our book?
Yeah.
How far we can get in and see if I can get anywhere. I always feel like I read so slow in our reading sprints. It's so bad.
It's okay.
Okay, so we're almost to the 20. So let's just say we are, and we'll go to the 40 then. So we'll do another 20-minute sprint in silence. But we'll see you at the 40, and I'll put a little banner up for us all. So good luck with whatever tasks you're doing and books you're reading. Okay, so that brings us back to the chat. How did everyone do? Krista needs some help with a cream cheese icing recipe that is quick and easy. I think it's just cream cheese.
I just bought some.
Vanilla.
Yeah.
I always just buy it because I've tried to make frosting icing several times and it's just so much work. It's so much easier just to buy it. But I think it's just cream cheese, powdered sugar, and some vanilla.
I think so too.
And I just do it to taste. It's usually 1 teaspoon of vanilla. But the powdered sugar I usually just do to taste because powdered sugar makes things really sweet. But anywho, how did everyone do? Where'd y'all get? I'm such a slow reader. I got to chapter 4, which is like page 27.
Nice.
But beginnings of books are always hard for me to start because I'm trying to like place myself. I'm trying to like figure out what is going on. So once I get to the middle, then I'll be able to zoom a little bit faster. But like this beginning part, I'm like still like trying to figure out who everyone is and what's happening. I just got to the part where they got into their room or whatever. It's feeling a little single white female to me.
Yeah.
With this flow character, because she like this Nora even thought it was her first, and then it was this flow, and I was like, oh, do we got a little single white female happening right now?
Yeah, that's said a couple more times.
Okay.
Where she thinks it's
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Anywho, let's look. Yeah. Krista uses Discord. Yeah, I think if I used it more regularly and it was like a normal thing for me, it probably would be easier. But because I use it so sporadically, I'm like, this is weird. So I just don't. So because I don't have to use it, it's not like easy, but I know there's a lot of people that really do like it. Yeah, Boxer is nice because you can do the voice thing, especially for buddy reads. I've done a lot of buddy reads with Boxer, and I do like Boxer. I tried with Instagram once, and it wasn't good. Oh, party's over. The fun police have arrived. Everyone's time. Hi, Allie. Good morning.
Good morning.
Middle of the night. Oh, here we go. Made some cream cheese, butter, vanilla, and a tiny bit. Oh, so no powdered sugar.
Yeah.
There you go. Yum.
Sounds good.
And chapter 9. Did you see where you were, Laura?
I am on page 80. I'm in chapter 10.
Okay. Yeah, you and Andy are usually always like together.
Yeah, it's good.
This is going to be a whole lot of figuring out the past while whatever happens in the present happens.
Let's see. 308. Okay.
I'm noticing now too that whoever had this book before me spilt coffee on it because it's like I just noticed there's like a small little patch on the cover, but there are several pages that are just full of coffee. Like just randomly in the book, there's like coffee stains.
Coffee
and then on the back,
actually,
it was discarded.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that even means.
Ex-library, it sounds like.
Well, no, there's no other library, anything on this. It just has discarded stamped on the back of it. I know. I picked it up at, I think that's a Bethesda sticker. It's not in very good shape. Like, I wouldn't sell this because it's kind of crappy. But I never noticed the coffee stains before. Oh, here we go. Here we go, Allie. This month's book you have, I'm just going to say finished. Because you always finish the book so early on. Is she going to let people? Hi.
Everything just went black for a few seconds.
Oh, I think on mine you froze for a minute.
Okay.
Oh, whatever. How are you liking it so far?
Are you asking me or are you talking to somebody else?
You.
Okay. I don't know what I missed. I do
Nothing.
like it. I do like it. It's yeah. It feels sort of familiar in a strange way, though I've never read Ruth Ware before. But yeah, I'm liking it. It's creepy, but I'm glad it's not as creepy as I thought it was going to be, at least so far. So I was a little nervous to read it in the dark, to be honest. Are you liking it?
It's not dark yet. Yeah, I'm really not that far in, so but I do like it. It does remind me of something. I know what you mean, but I think it's because we've been reading creepy books. The last 2 books have been kind of like trying to figure out, like, people aren't telling, like, people are being very elusive, and so it's just kind of got that same theme. But yeah, I've never read her either.
Maybe I'll just keep reading more stuff.
Yeah, that little poem in the beginning where the title kind of comes from, it makes me wonder if we're gonna get some skeletons in the closet, in the cupboard. In the dark, dark wood, there was a dark, dark house. In the dark, dark house, there was a dark, dark room. In the dark, dark room, there was a dark, dark cupboard. In the dark, dark cupboard, there was a skeleton.
I just noticed too, and when that like blacked out for me, that there's a quote on the front of my book from Reese Witherspoon. So Reese is all over our
She's
book club.
everywhere. I know.
I know.
She is everywhere. Like our theme this year is Reese Witherspoon, apparently.
Yeah.
But she's been putting her stamp on everything. And everything she reads, she tried to make into a book, into a movie. So
it seems that way, yeah.
Yeah, so. But it looks like Allie has not started our book, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's very unlike Allie.
Yeah, very unlike you. Like, why you'd be finished with it? So I guess yeah, maybe metaphorical.
Maybe. I wonder if this house has cupboards, because it sounds like it maybe doesn't. I mean, it's all glass and stuff.
Yeah.
Fancy.
On like a summer home, like made of glass. Reminds me, did you watch that movie from the night, like what, early 2000s or something? Wasn't it called The Glass House? Glass House or something like that?
I don't think I saw that.
With what was her name? I don't know her name. But she was in Never Been Kissed. She was the friend, the geeky friend. What's her name, like Mira or Myra?
I always think it's Judy Greer, but it's not her.
No, not her. Not Judy Greer. She was in 13 Going on 30. Anywho, it doesn't matter, but these people take in that girl and her brother because their parents died or something. It's like their aunt or something. And it turns out like they're like crazy killers or something. They killed the parents or something. I don't know. I don't remember seeing the whole movie. I just know that I saw like bits and pieces of it. And it's like an entire glass house, so you can see everything. And it's like, why? Why would you live in a glass house? Like, woohoo, creepy. Well, you know the saying, don't throw stones.
Yeah. But just creepy.
You watch creepy movies in the fall, like during Halloween and stuff?
I used to really love horror movies in high school and stuff. like the bloodier the better. I loved them. And then kind of got away for a while. When I was in my corporate job, myself and two of the other ladies I worked with would have a scary movie night once a month. We watched a lot of scary stuff together. But I have since kind of gotten away from it. Stuff I find scarier now is more like psychological stuff.
Yeah.
Blood really turns me on. So I'll watch some stuff sometimes. I'll watch more like a murder mystery more than anything else. But I'm not going to go for like a scary movie necessarily. Yeah. I'm more likely to watch an adaptation of something or Bob's Burgers, quite frankly, instead. So how about you?
No, I mean, I really don't like scary movies. I like psychological thrillers. Like, those are fun every once in a while, but, like, I don't gravitate towards them. I did, however, speaking of Halloween, watch Hocus Pocus 2. Oh, did anyone else watch Hocus Pocus 2?
Not yet.
No, in the comments. I watched it the day it came out, of course. It wasn't terrible, but I mean, it was a Disney movie. Like, it was a straight up Disney movie. Like, okay. But I mean, like I said, it wasn't terrible. It was super nice to see all three of them again. Like, I'm glad they didn't like recast anybody. But the story was kind of like too Disney-like. I was like, and I don't know. I just wasn't blown away. But like I said, I wouldn't say that it was terrible. I think it was a nice sequel, but I don't think anything can ever be as good as the first one. I don't know. But I think what happens with a movie like that too is you have so much nostalgic energy flowing through you when you watch the second one that you're just like, nothing will ever be as good. Because I'm sure if you hadn't seen it and you watched the first one, you'd be like, oh yeah, that was okay, and then you watch the second one and be like, yeah, it's kind of the same. You know, you'd probably feel nothing, but like when you spent your entire childhood and young adulthood and nowhood watching it every year, it builds a lot of like want for it to be the same. But yeah, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't. It just reminded me of one of like the Disney Channel movies that they do every year. So, but it was nice to see them all back in their roles.
I'll watch it eventually. I just saw it for the first time, the first one for the first time like 2 years ago, because it just came out when I was in middle school and I was really getting into like grunge and Nirvana and everything. So I missed that, and I missed like all the Disney Channel movies and stuff. I'd watch them when I babysat for kids at my jobs in high school, but like I just missed all that stuff. And I was really, really busy. So I just missed a lot of stuff by a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
So I liked it when I watched it, but again, I'm watching it in my 40s versus when I would have been like 12 or 13 or whatever, where I probably would have really liked it then. But
yeah.
I'll watch it. I like Hannah Waddingham a lot. So
yeah, I don't remember the first time I watched that movie. I just know that I've always watched it. It's just I've always watched it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't really particularly have a bunch of movies that I watch during this time. I just know like when Christmas comes, then I have a bunch of movies that I will watch. But yeah. Oh, bye, Krista. Thanks for stopping by.
Bye. Probably see you later.
Yeah, we'll probably see you later. But sometimes when I'm reading, I get really like I think I figured it out. Like for the longest time, I thought I was like a really structured reader. Like I want to build a TBR, and these are the books I want to read, and I want to read them all. And for the first 2 years of my BookTube channel, I really feel like I was like that. But the more and more I keep reading, I am realizing that I am a very, very, very strict mood reader. Like if I don't feel like reading something, I will put it off till the end of days. Like I have 5 books sitting on my nightstand right now that I should be reading because they were due to be read like forever ago, like from One's a buddy read that I stopped reading 2 years ago. Like I'm just not in the mood. I'm not in the mood to read any of them. And I've been reading, but it's just whatever like floats my boat. Like, oh, I'm gonna read this now. So I think I'm a mood reader. I don't think I'm like a TBR maker. I think I'm a mood reader.
Yeah.
I think I just need to go with that.
I know. My reading really took a dive when I joined BookTube. When I was watching, it was still good, but when I made my own channel, it really took a dive. And I get I have too much FOMO. I want to join everything, and I plan to join everything. And I used to be able to read everything and like make a big plan to read 20 some books in a month, and I could totally do it without a problem, and then still have time to mood read. But that's just not. The older I get, the harder it is to actually do it. And now I'm just a straight up mood reader pretty much. I'm impressed that I've been able to very easily read all of our books for this, just because normally if there's a book club, I'm like, no, I don't want to read that. Or even if it's been on my list for years, I'm like, no, I don't want to read that. It's such a weird thing. So yeah, I've really changed, and it's very, very much mood reading.
Yeah.
Very, very much.
I always read the books too, obviously, but I think it's because I have so much fun in our discussions. Like, if not, like, I had a Facebook book club and like nobody was participating, and that was really tough. So it felt like I was just doing a giant review at the end of every month because like no one would ever do it, but I would feel obligated to like talk about it. But this, it's nice because people actually participate. So thank you to all of our booktube participants because it's so much fun when you actually participate. So I just have a blast participating. So even if it's a book that I'm not like that interested in, I'm super happy to read them because people are participating and talking about it, and it widens my, reading genres because sometimes I'm like, I don't really want to read this book, but because it was picked, we get to read it and I'm happier for it. So speaking of reading, we should probably do another sprint.
Yeah.
I think this will be the last sprint for me because I have to go and help finish dinner and get dinner going. So definitely, if anyone is still here, this will be our last sprint. But definitely jump over to Krista's afterward, and if you're still wanting to read, because you can continue reading with her sprints. So like I said, this will be our last sprint. We'll go to 20 after, so 20 after the hour, and then like I said, we'll have that be our last sprint. We'll say goodnight, and then if you're still wanting to read, definitely jump over to Krista's. So okay, we'll come back in 20 minutes.
See you in a bit.
Okay, that closes up our reading sprints. The feeling a bunch of people left over to Krista's, which is perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
And if anyone who is left with us now would like to continue, definitely jump over to Krista's channel at Books and Jams. She is doing some reading sprints currently, or productivity sprints. You can do whatever you'd like. But yeah, I got to chapter 5, so they just like went around and said who they were and how they knew Claire. Claire's not there yet.
Okay.
I almost wonder if she is even coming, like if she even knows this is happening, because this Flo character just seems really, yeah, I don't know.
I think unhinged is a good word so far.
Yeah. So I'm almost wondering, like, she just invite all these people and said that she was going to be there. But I mean, obviously, you're much farther than I am. So, but anywho, that's my thought. It is getting a little bit easier. I mean, I'm obviously still super slow at reading because I'm only on page 43. But yeah, I'm interested in seeing where this goes.
Mm-hmm.
How about you? How far did you get?
I only got to 112. But I had to close my blinds, and then I think you mentioned coffee the last sprint, like just casually, and I was like, "Oh my god, coffee sounds amazing!" So I made a cup of coffee. But I am really liking it. So I'm in chapter 15.
Okay.
A little bit. So I think I'm going to keep reading for a while. Yeah. I have to order groceries for my mom and I, but I'm going to keep reading and hopefully at least get halfway tonight.
Yeah.
Are you going to read later?
I don't know if I'll continue tonight because I do have to go and help with dinner and then eat dinner and then, you know, the pumping and the feeding and the medication and all the things. But to answer Allie's question, it is the last Sunday. So I think that is the 30th.
Yes, it's the 30th.
Yes, the 30th. So we'll be doing the discussion on the 30th. Looks like Andy got to 112.
Hey, same page.
Yeah, that's real creepy, ladies. Really creepy. Anywho. But yeah, so the discussion for this book will be on the 30th. At 4 o'clock. We don't have any new products or anything that day. It'll just be the live discussion. So, yeah. Well, good. Cool. Well, yeah. Well, that's it. We had a kind of a shortened version of both of our things today. The new products and our reading sprints. Very short. I apologize for that, but I do enjoy being together and chatting and seeing how everyone's doing. And next time you see us will be in 2 weeks for some more new products. And yeah. And then it'll be our live discussion. And then all of a sudden it'll be November. And I can't believe that. I feel like it's supposed to still be the summer. And now we're talking about like November and Christmas and all the things. So
I know.
Oh, boy.
My brain is still in August, if it helps. So
yeah. I don't know. It all goes by so fast. I appreciate every moment because it happens a ton. But anywho, sorry for the shortened reading sprints. But like I said, if you are interested in reading or continuing to do some sprints, jump over to Books and Jams channel. And Krista will guide you along the rest of the evening with some great reading sprints. So, yay. Oh, good. Have fun.
Nice.
So nice to see you. Well, until next time, have a good night. Yeah.
Yep. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Good night.